Hey y'all, so I just got done mowing the yard and doing a little bit of watering, so you can see your girl's hot. So I am resting here now on the porch, just kind of relaxing, enjoying this day. It is warm, but there is a little bit of a breeze, so it's pretty nice out here. But I am sorry for the MIA the last couple of weeks. We have had something going on every single weekend since Easter, and I just have not had the ability to get out my phone and record anything. So I haven't done any shopping. I have just been working at the house, doing yard work. We are finishing the school year, so we have just been busy. So I apologize that I have not had any content for you guys. And so I think for today's video, I've got some work to do in the yard. And then tomorrow, my folks are coming in. We're having my son's birthday party tomorrow. His birthday is actually on the 27th, but being that it's in the middle of the week, we're gonna have his party this weekend. So my dad and my mom are coming in, and we are gonna go over to Milmont, which is the plant store that I have been telling you guys about. And actually, in the previous video when my dad was here with the gardening, he took me there. So I did get a chance to record that time. So I do want to record for you guys when we go there tomorrow. So this video is just going to be kind of like a day in the life, and I'm just going to take you guys along with me. I don't know how exciting it's going to be. I'm sure there's not going to be any thrifting or antiquing because none of my family really do that stuff, and really this weekend is just to celebrate my little boy who's turning 9 years old. Can't believe that, y'all. I've been getting all these pop-up videos too on Facebook, and those memories and seeing him as a newborn. And y'all, I just did not understand it before I became a mom, truly how fast time flies by when you have children. You know, my parents always said that to me growing up, and I was just like, yeah, whatever. But now as a parent, I completely understand, and just dealing with even the thought of my son turning 9, it's amazing. And he's been making comments about how this is his last year in the single digits, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, just enjoy your childhood, because it really does go by so quickly. But that's all we have going on. I might get up here in just a minute and show you guys how the garden is coming along. It is amazing to me how quickly things change. I mentioned it in a previous video. I really do, even before I started YouTube, I would come out to my garden and take pictures weekly. And I would share those on my Facebook page, and I would just share them for myself because I love to see the progress of our gardens. And then I like to look back year to year and see how much things are changed. But it is amazing to me, in as little as a week, how dramatically things can change. I have a little bit of color coming in, but all of the plants that you and I just transferred and broke up, y'all, they have almost doubled, if not, some of them have tripled in size. And it's absolutely amazing to me. So I am definitely looking forward to watching those continue to grow. I have my planter boxes still up here on the porch that have my lime tree and my lemon tree, and we brought them because they were inside all winter, just to keep them from the frost and cold, because they really don't like that, as most citrus trees, that's the truth for. But we brought them out on the porch about 2 weeks ago, just to kind of get them acclimated to the weather. But I haven't actually had them in the weather, just on the covered porch. So I want to have my husband carry those down for me, because those boxes are extremely heavy, with all the dirt. And I guess a little tip I'll share with you guys, when you have big old planter boxes like this, and I'll flip my camera around here in just a minute so you can see what I'm talking about. Anytime you have big planters or even big hanging baskets, instead of filling that entire container with soil, because that can be just completely expensive, I like to, in the bottom, I either line it with stone, or in these I actually use mulch. Number one, it's a very good drainer. It helps them drain better, the soil, but it also is cheaper. So even though that box is probably only half or even 3/4 full of soil, those boxes probably weigh a good 100 pounds. And though your girl has been working out, and I do lift weights at the gym, I can't lift 100 pounds. So I'll have my husband take care of that and get those boxes down for me. So I guess we're just gonna sit back, relax. I guess I'm gonna take you guys along with me this weekend and just see kind of what we get into. But I just wanted to thank you guys for stopping by, and I hope you enjoy this video. All right, y'all, here is these containers I was telling you about, and they are huge. But this are those two citrus tree bushes that I got last year. I'll link those below, but I absolutely love them. This is a lime, and this is a lemon. I am hoping it's still green. I cut it and pruned it the other day just to see, because it was looking kind of pitiful. We're gonna see if it comes back. It is still green in the cutting, so that is a good sign. So hopefully it'll be good. And then here is my other two hanging baskets. This is a blueberry bush that is meant for containers are small, and this is a raspberry. So these are containers I got, and I will link those for you guys too, but they are huge planters. They are fantastic. I got those on Amazon as well, but that is that. I figured I'd show you guys my porch real quick. I haven't really done anything more. I've added a few things. I brought out some of my green Longaberger, and I added that wreath. Some more green Longaberger over there, but it's been pretty much the same. Added a braided rug back. But yeah, this has pretty much been the same since I had my spring video. I am like biting at the bit to start decorating for summer, and we are going to do Americana like normal. But I'm still enjoying this very much, so we're going to kind of keep it for a little bit longer anyway. As I have done in the past, I always do summer as Americana, and considering that, you know, this year is a major not Memorial Day. It's a major birthday for our country. I definitely want to do it up. I'm going to be doing that here probably in May. I typically do it like the first weekend of May, and then I leave that up all the way through this is September, Labor Day. Y'all, I'm hot. My brain is not working right this second. This is so sad. But yeah, I will keep the Americana up all summer long. But I have been seeing on Amazon, and maybe if I remember, I will put a picture here of what I'm thinking about. But they've got these really pretty Americana like swags, like the old fashioned looking swags. I just think they are so pretty. I've actually had one in my cart, and I've been waiting for it to go down and see if the prices go down, because again, y'all, I live a thrifting lifestyle. It's very hard for me to pay full retail price for anything, so I have been waiting to bite the bullet on buying those. But I'm thinking that would be really pretty here on the porch, going down the banister of this of the porch, and I think that'd be really pretty. So who knows, we'll see what happens. And then again tomorrow, when Dad and I go to the plant store, I hadn't as of yet bought any plants for out here on the porch yet, just because again it was not the right temperature. Y'all, I'm sorry the camera keeps moving so much. I'm holding it with my hand. Normally I have my tripod out here, but again, this is so spare the moment. But I would love to add some red flowers out here, red hanging baskets. I have hanging baskets that I use every year, and then I just plant them up. And when we go to the plant store tomorrow, I will be a little bit more detailed about this, but I always like doing my own planters. I used to buy them pre-made, like at, you know, Lowe's or Home Depot or anywhere else that they had them pre-made, and they were typically a good price. But I found that, you know, if I would reuse my planters and just buy my own plants, I could usually do it cheaper, and I was able to choose the plants that I liked. So I started doing that the last 2 years. So I have some hanging planters that I already have that I will do again, but I really want to add red, and that is not a color that I normally decorate with, because as you guys have seen, most of my, well, all of my plants out front are purple, blue, whites, and then different shades of green. So I have never had red up here, but I really want to do that again, because we're having this celebrating this incredible milestone in our country. I really want to have the Americana up here, so I'm gonna add some red in my hanging baskets this year. So that'll be a little bit different change, but who knows, we'll see what we get in.
All right, y'all, so this is just over about 10 days since we did that last video, and look how much growth has happened. Y'all, this plant right here is all flowered out now with those white flowers. That is the one we divided, y'all, and was spreading it out. So it is just absolutely amazing to me in how little time things grow. And it is so incredible to see this. Y'all, this is my delphinium. This is an absolutely beautiful plant. I just got these peony cages around it, and it's already thrown up its spikes, so that'll be flowering here probably in the next couple weeks. So I'm so excited to see that. And then I came back here, and this is a planter that I built, I think 3 years ago now. But these was just a Dollar Tree DIY, y'all. You get these and you stack them, and then I put the pipe through it to make it stable. But this is just full of wildflowers. And then I'm going to show you my fountain here that I built last year. Y'all, this pollen has been so crazy. That water looks green. And here I'm showing you my favorite flowers of all time, the foxglove. I went ahead and I put the peony cages around them when they're small like this because, again, they will throw up their stalks here really quickly. And then, of course, the hydrangea. Look how beautiful it is, all leafed out. I'm so excited. So now we're going to head over to Milmont. And as you saw earlier, y'all, the day that we actually went with my dad to Milmont, I forgot my phone at home, so I did not record that day. So I wanted to come back and actually get an opportunity to go through. And it was kind of nice on this day that I went. I went on a Monday, and it was not nearly as busy as it is on the weekends. Y'all, on the weekends when you go to Milmont, they actually have people out there helping you park because it is so incredibly busy. But I was able to come over here the first thing of the week, and it was a little bit slower, which is nice because then I don't feel as bad about recording and I can take my time. So let me take you to this wonderful nursery. I absolutely love Milmont. If you are local, you absolutely must come here. And I would say, because my dad drives 2 hours to come here, it is well worth the trip. So when you first drive in here on the property, here on the right, and you're going to see this truck pulling in. This is where you can buy your bulk mulch. They'll actually load your trucks up. I bought my hay bale from here that I use in the fall. So that's all that area there. And then as you pull around into the parking lot, and you're going to see it here momentarily, they actually have goats and cows on the property, and you can take the kids over there, and they have the area that you can feed the goats. And my kids absolutely love doing that, so that's something that we always do. And then you're going to see as we come into the property and park, I absolutely love how Milmont has this set up. Their first main building here that we'll go into here momentarily is like their showcase area. So this is where they have all of their, like if you're going to buy your fertilizers, your potting soil, your pots and all that, that's all in here. And then they have it all divided out from there. So y'all come on in here and enjoy this wonderful store. So this first greenhouse room directly off the showcase area is always herbs, and they start having some vegetables in here. And I absolutely love Milmont. You can see these tags, and sometimes I'll zoom in for you so you can see them. But they have all of the information on there for you, is you know, telling you what the product is, but also tells you like optimal growing and kind of hints and tips. And they also have throughout here, and you're going to see it throughout the store, they'll have like your growing zone, which is really helpful because, you know, if you're a brand new gardener, maybe you don't even know what zone you live in. They have all that. They'll have the frost dates on there, and it's just always so helpful. And I will also say that these notes on here are also very detailed, but every employee, y'all, you can ask them any question and they are more than willing to help you, and they are so incredibly knowledgeable. So I absolutely love coming here for that reason as well. And y'all, look at this incredible variety of tomato plants. They have so many different types. I would say it far surpasses anything that you could find at Lowe's or Home Depot. But again, this information that they provide on these cards is absolutely incredible. So I'm going to show you here momentarily. I actually bought tomatoes here last year. And last year I was experimenting because I specifically wanted to do like patio, or I have raised garden beds that I do these in. So I was looking for something that specifically did very well in that type of growing scenario. And these are the two that I bought last year. They did incredible. Now they are determinate, so of course it only puts out so many tomatoes. So this year I actually want to do a little bit of experimenting and see if I can do something else. And then over here are the herbs that I have used. Of course, anytime I do my vegetables, I always grow tomatoes, and I do companion planting. So I will do my basil and, you know, those type of additional herbs and things like that. And they always have that here. Something else that I love looking at Milmont, again, y'all, here's something I was showing you, telling you about these helpful tips. Here's these things that tell you the different types of tomatoes and pros and cons and kind of things. So that's always very helpful. Pepper plants, of course, I grow a box that I call my salsa box. It'll have my jalapenos and my cilantro and spring onions and things like that I always grow. But again, y'all, this is just so incredibly helpful to have this type of information out. So now we're going to leave the greenhouses and we're going to go outside. And the way they have this set up, these first tents right here, these are all annuals. So you see they actually have some beautiful strawberry plants out here, but all of these 3 garden beds or 3 tents right here are all the annuals. And one of the things that I get so much inspiration when I come through here, look at all these gorgeous hanging baskets. Y'all, they are absolutely stunning. I absolutely love coming to look here. So several years ago, I would just come and buy the hanging baskets just like this. And y'all, their prices are incredible. I think they start at like $9.99 and they go up. The bigger they are, obviously, I think they go up to like $18, which is still an incredible price. If you go to Lowe's, you know they're much more than that. And these are stunning. But what I do with my hanging baskets now is I actually buy the individual plants and then I will put in there what I want. But I do get inspiration from what they have in there. I'm showing you here some of the grasses and some of the lettuces. These are all things that I have grown previously in my garden beds and my vegetable beds. But I have found that, you know, their prices here for the plants are so good. I've tried doing even the seeds, and really the seeds, you know, I can get these plants for about the same price. So to me, I like the instant gratification, so I do buy the plants. I'm going to go through here. So now I'm starting to think about, you know, what I want to do on the porch, and I'm looking for those reds. So I'm also going to show you as I walk through here some plants I have bought previously and what works for me, but I also want to look for these reds. So anytime I'm making a hanging basket, I follow these 3 principles, and this is a good thing. This is not new. This is not something I made up. This is something absolutely other gardeners do. But in your pots, you want to have your thriller, your spiller, and your filler. So the first things I'm looking for right now are those things that will creep out and hang over the sides of my planters. So those are those things I look for first. All right, and immediately after you pass those annual tents, you go out to all the perennials, the trees, and the bushes. Now, one of the things that Milmont does is they have the same plants in like 3 different sections. So I'm showing you guys the first thing. This is my hollyhock. This is the exact one that I have. Beautiful purpley dark flowers that bloom, but I'm showing you guys this. But the way they have it set up here at Milmont is they actually have the same plants 3 different times. So, and it goes by price. So the cheapest ones obviously are going to be the littlest ones. Some of them probably aren't flowered, but you can get those at such an incredible price, and then they go up from there from how big they are. So what I like to do is I like to go into like the most mature section, you know, the ones that are probably like a month or 2 older than the other plants, to see what they're going to look like. And then I will come over here to the cheapest area and buy that plant small. You don't get the same immediate gratification, but if you have patience for like a month, it'll get to that size. So I always like, I'm going to save my money, y'all, and I'm going to come over here and get it. I'm showing you, this is one of the plants that we actually just divided. This is that plant that I just showed you that has already flowered out. And then, of course, here are the delphiniums. So you can absolutely come over here, get the smaller plant, have a little patience, and I promise you it'll get big and you'll have it flowering and looking just as beautiful as these more mature plants. And that is a great tip to save some money. Here are my favorite foxgloves. Now I'm going to show you guys here something. So these are the ones that I have bought. I want to show you what I'm talking about. So this is the area where they're not as mature. They haven't thrown up their stalks. So these are going to be the lowest prices. But you're going to go over literally 2 aisles. And I'm going to show you that here. And then you can see where they're a little bit more mature. The prices go up. I think it goes up like $2 or something like that. And you get a little bit more instant gratification. But look at these foxgloves, y'all. This is my absolute favorite flower. I love them just like this in a mass planting. I think they are absolutely stunning. And the ones that I have in my back area are these same colors. I use the pinks, I have the purples, I have some of the peach, but they are absolutely stunning. These are my favorite flowers. They take my breath away, y'all. And then you will see, again, these prices here went up by $2. They do have one more section that are a little bit taller. They're probably at their full height, a couple rows over. So again, you can kind of see what they will look like. Here are the cone flowers that I use in my front beds. Again, this is the smallest, so they're not bloomed out yet, but they're going to be the cheapest. So again, Milmont is wonderful for this, so that I can get that instant gratification, or I can, save myself a little bit of money, have a little patience, and they will get to that maturity. are coming very quickly to what I call the quintessential cottage plant, and that is lavender. And on the very next row is catmint. I think these two plants, if you have a cottage garden, they are must-haves. They are beautiful. They have beautiful fragrance, and any cottage garden is not complete without them. All right, so now we are back into the annuals, and again, I'm looking back at my hanging baskets, and they had this. I have never used this verbena, but it is beautiful, and I was thinking, okay, this is another. It is meant to trail out of baskets, so again, I'm thinking this might be something that'll be perfect for our planters for the porch. Now this last tent area outside here is actually their shade, and you can see they do a wonderful job of indicating what area is what. Now, I will be honest with you guys, I have never bought anything out of this entire building because my house, there is no shade. So unfortunately, I can't buy these type of ferns or these kind of plants, but I absolutely think they are beautiful. I wish I had a little shade garden where I live, but I don't. So when I'm looking for ferns and other things, I have to look for ones that can tolerate the full sun. So now I just want to show you, I'm not buying any trees or bushes today, but I wanted to show you guys the variety that they offer here. Again, they have everything out here. I have bought knockout roses from here. They have an incredible selection of different types of roses, and I think they're absolutely beautiful. Again, that's another very much cottage type plant. Look at all these different types of roses. I just absolutely think they are beautiful. Up here in just a moment, I'm going to show you guys. Okay, so I have this dream, like my dream house. Some dream trees that I want are weeping willows and weeping cherries. So every time I see they have these weeping trees back here, I just think they're so pretty, and I just think about, future house, future dreams, but I think they're absolutely stunning. I love them. I don't have a place for them right now, but I do love them. They also have these areas with all your shrubs and all of your bushes. And again, I just get so much inspiration by just looking to see how they have their things set up and everything put together. It looks so beautiful. I love this little sitting area they have right here that has this little veranda, pergola, whatever you want to call it. Can't even think of what it's called right this second, but I think it's so pretty. And then we're coming back up to the main greenhouses, and I want to take you back this way. This last house that we're fixing to go in here, this is actually all their indoor plants. So I have bought indoor plants from in here as well. I absolutely love buying those here as well. And then as you turn left here, you're going back into those annual rooms and those flowers that we've gone through. So now, one of the plants that I absolutely know that I want to put out in these hanging baskets, and this is going to be my thriller, are these geraniums. I think they are so pretty. This red really caught my eye. Now I want to show you this price. Okay, so this basket completely made up was $19.99. I want to show you, so they do it exactly like they do outside. They have them going down smaller prices. So some of them at the very front, like that one, already has the pot included. And then we go down where you get smaller plants, and then you get to the point where, they're the smallest and it's the cheapest. I want to show you guys the very last row. This is where I'm going to get mine. Again, you don't get that instant gratification, but if I'm a little patient, I will get exactly that same look as that big expensive pot. But I get it at a price that I can afford, and I can still, get the plants that I want. All right, so this is the cheapest plants, and these don't include the pots. So $6.99 is the cheapest price that are already flowered. Now, if you go to this very back row, these are going to be the smallest plants they have. Of course, they don't have any blooms on them yet. So, it means it's probably about a month behind. So you don't get that instant gratification. But y'all, to me, I get my gratification when I see these prices. Prepare yourself. I promise you can't find them this cheap at Lowe's or anywhere else. And I would much rather come spend my money here. prepare. You ready? Here we go. $2.99, y'all. Yep, absolutely. That's the plant I'm going to buy. Up and I spot, this is usually one of my go-to spillers. I absolutely love these, and these beautiful little dainty blue and purple. I love those. I use those every year. I'm not going to use them this year because again, it's not in the patriotic colors, but there's some possibilities here. Now these I liked at first, but then I see the tag that they get that little pink center, and I think that's going to be, I don't really want that for patriotic, so I kind of eliminated that one. Here is another very popular thriller flower that goes in a lot of hanging baskets that I cannot use in mine because these are snapdragons, but they don't like full sun. They are absolutely beautiful, but I cannot use them at my house, but I think they are so pretty, and they are very much a very popular hanging basket flower. All right, and then here comes my filler. I use petunias every year in every hanging basket as my filler flower. They are absolutely easy to grow. They are beautiful. You do have to deadhead them, but I spotted these. I have never seen these before, but look at these beautiful red with the outline of the red. I think those, or excuse me, the red with the outline of white. I think those are so pretty, and I think they will be perfect in our patriotic hanging baskets. Now, of course, I told you I use these every year. So, of course, my heart, this is my heart right here, y'all. Look at these beautiful purples and whites. This is what I normally go for. And I like these darker ones a little bit down here. These are the ones that I use every single year. So, yes, this is my normal. This is what I'll go back to next year. But I think these are absolutely beautiful. But you can't go wrong with a good petunia. All right, and then I spotted these, and they reminded me of daisies. I thought these would be another pretty filler flower, but again, then I saw, when I looked at the tag, I saw that pink, and I was just like, I don't know if that would work, but I really liked how dainty and how pretty they looked. And again, I want to mix the reds and the whites, so I thought those would be. And then I saw these. These kind of remind me of dahlias. I know they're not, but they kind of have that same feel. Again, it would be a beautiful thriller in the back of your plant to get some height in there, but I thought they were very pretty as well. Okay, so now we're going to go inside to their main store showcase room, whatever you want to call it. But this is where you're going to get all your plant food, your fertilizers, your soils. They also have an incredible selection of seeds and bulbs. So if you're one of those purists who really like to take the planting from the very beginning, this is your go-to spot. I have bought bulbs. I actually just started doing bulbs this year. I've tried seeds last year with my vegetables, and I did not have very much success. I'm sure it's one of those things that you just got to try again, right? I'm showing you guys some planters they have. They do have a wide selection of sizes and styles, so they have all that. Of course, some garden tools, and they have an incredible selection of pots if you're looking for that. So I would definitely encourage you, if you are local, definitely stop by, check out the store. They have everything that you could possibly need. And again, it's just a wonderful experience. You come here for the products, you come here for the wonderful people who work here and their extensive knowledge and their willingness to help you. But if you come for nothing else, come for the inspiration, come to be absolutely just mesmerized by the beauty. And I guarantee you will have a great time. Again, if you bring the kids, they have the goats outside that you can feed, and they have their little, I jokingly call it their mascot, but as you see before we get up here to the door, they have a parrot that they have here. The cage is always opened. They tell you don't go over there and, mess with it. It might peck with you, but it does talk. It's really fun. My kids always want to come by and say hi to it. So that's here for you. But I would definitely encourage you, if you're nearby, come check out Milmont. You will definitely have a wonderful experience. All right, y'all, that is going to wrap up this shopping trip. Now, I will let you know I did not buy anything today because I'm still holding off just a little bit for the weather because we haven't reached our last frost date, but also just want to kind of get, my money in order. But just want to kind of get some ideas, get some inspiration today. But I just want to thank you so much for joining me today as we explored Milmont. Thank you for joining me as we explored my garden. And I hope that you have a fantastic day. Hope you'll give this inspiration to get out in your garden. And we will see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.